Okay, that confirmation is being streamed. All right, let me call the case. This is from my understanding, P-37302. This is the estate of Alberto Rene Montoya. For the record, let me have all the respective counsel make their announcements.
Ruben Ramirez,
Reiner, attorney ad litem for minors.
Ruben Ramirez, attorney for Alberto Montoya Jr.
Ms. Christie.
Lauren Christie present as the administrator.
Tomas Flores on behalf of Doris Rios.
All right. I guess Mr. Reiner, you had mentioned, I think you were the only one on the screen at the time. But I said this at the last moment because I had told Judge Herman, for your information, that I was, I think the word we're using is declining these assignments as of December 31.
Right.
And I wasn't made aware that this one jury trial matter, which is kind of a sub issue, could be the subject of a settlement. And so I said it at the last moment to accommodate that possibility. But this is really a wrap up for me. I'm not doing any more.
Yeah, this is it, Your Honor. We do have, and counsel's worked pretty hard. We've attended 2 mediations. And we've got a framework. Ms. Christie and myself have really drafted, Ruben and Tomas have worked on it, but Ms. Christie and I have worked on a settlement agreement to settle the entire estate. And part of that, the framework, and I don't think anybody at this point is disagreeing, is the minor will have a 1301 management trust. His older brother will be trustee. And we're trying to get some specifics on dividing the remaining of the assets. So in a sense, Judge, I hate to use the term, the whole family has a divorce and the minor is taken care of. I don't know when we planned on going back to mediation, but we've got a pretty good draft of a document, a settlement agreement. So does that mean you won't continue on if we get to mediation and get that resolved?
Precisely.
Okay, because I don't think we're getting to mediation the rest of this month unless council can fit it in. Like I said, we're pretty close. We've done 2 mediations on dividing the estate.
Yeah. Well, that's really good news. I really see that as you're just going to have to wait a while till Judge Herman finds a judge that's willing to take it. I wanted to do this because the
Right.
pressure point for me became these jury trials that I couldn't get set. And so at least this takes care of one of them. I guess if we could cut to the chase on this one matter here before me. Ms. Christie and Mr. Reiner, are you both satisfied that if I authorize this settlement agreement, there'll be enough money to fund what you all have already apparently gone a long way to finalize as a settlement?
I think this money is being paid from Tomas's client, the surviving spouse, if I'm not incorrect, Your Honor. So it's not going to affect Lauren's responsibility to the minor or other heirs.
And creditor claims and Ms. Christie's,
She's covered.
you'll be covered, Ms. Christie?
Yes.
Yes.
And everybody will get their share. I'm not going to shortchange anybody by letting this thing go.
No.
That's correct.
That's correct.
My only other comment, Judge, and I don't know, we'd have to get with Judge Herman. I think potentially that the sitting probate judge's conflict is gone now, that the lawsuit has been resolved, and now it's just a distribution of the estate.
That's a valid thought. What was the history about why Judge Garcia removed it?
She represented the surviving spouse, and so when there was claims against the surviving spouse in a surcharge suit, she couldn't hear the case because she had represented her. But now we just have a division of assets that doesn't reflect any of the surviving spouse's administration of the estate. That has been settled and it's final.
Well, that sounds like they might be persuaded. That sounds like it may be a persuadable presentation. So
I didn't know if you had to talk to Judge Herman again. My only concern is a visiting judge costs the county, your county money. to have a judge assigned. And so if we didn't have to go through that cost, that would save the county a little bit of money.
Well, the heartbreak is December 31, and Judge Herman, he's trying to talk me out of it, but I'm not going to be talked out of it. And December 31 is the deadline where those affidavits are filed. And if I don't do them, I'm not qualified to serve under these assignments. I do have an iPhone person trying to enter Mr. Ramirez. That might be fine. You want me to get him on? Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Are you able to see him on Mr. Ramirez? The
Yes.
gentleman wearing a beard. Is that your client?
Yes,
What's his name? I'm sorry, Mr.
Alberto Jr.
Mr. Alberto. Good afternoon. Your microphone's, well, you may or may not need to speak.
Yeah, he can leave his microphone on mute.
Okay.
I unmuted it. I'm sorry about that. How's it
Oh,
going?
Fine.
All right,
That's
so
fine.
you're available.
Go ahead. and
Okay,
mute.
so does anybody have a proposed order that I can sign? And I
Yeah,
guess
that's
there's got to be an order approving the settlement. There's got to be an order authorizing the withdrawal of the money from the registry to court. And there's got to be some sort of dispositive order on the underlying lawsuit. Are those three things drafted by somebody?
Your Honor, I've submitted an order allowing the disbursement, but not approving the settlement or what was the third one?
All right.
Well, I think the issue is, I think the lawsuit is still pending, Ms. Christie, as to Mr. Ramirez's fees. Is that correct? Or did we sever that?
We've gone through a severance on the claim with the bonding company.
Okay, so I think Mr. Ramirez needs to get a dismissal on file of his cause of action. I think you're correct, Your Honor. There needs to be dismissal on that cause of action for fees.
Okay, that was the third thing. An order of dismissal, an order authorizing the withdrawal of money from the registry to the court, and an order approving the settlement agreement.
I think we can submit the order approving the settlement and then follow through with the other orders. I don't think you can sign the one to dismiss before everything else. So, but I think you can keep track of it. I know, sign them on the same day or whatever. But we can submit the other two. Two are missing, which is approving the settlement and the actual dismissal.
Well, I'm sorry, Ms. Christie.
Sorry, Judge. The estate itself and myself as the representative of the estate, we're not involved in this particular settlement because estate funds are not being used. I'm not sure if anybody else has a better way to explain that.
Well, the only thing I was concerned about, Ms. Christie, was whether or not we had severed out the surcharge case, because what Judge is, I believe, saying is he needs to close out this whole lawsuit. And I think there was a severance. I thought that you had severed out the lawsuit and we've shut the surcharge suit down, and what's left open is Mr. Ramirez's cause of action against the surviving spouse. Am I incorrect that there's not a severance?
I think we talked about it in a hearing, but I think we forgot to maybe submit an order with a different the cause number with /A or whatever they do to separate.
There is a separate cause number, so there's a -A case.
Okay.
So I just think Judge needs an order to dismiss the whole case.
The
Okay.
A case. The
I get
separate.
my confusion is on the order approving settlement. Do we need I know we need an approval to settle when the administrator is trying to settle a claim, but I don't have any claims live that are being settled.
Yes.
That's
So
a good
essentially,
question, but it's like any other wrongful death lawsuit pending in the probate court. It's subject to approval.
Okay.
I don't know.
I was just trying to
That was
simplify.
just my natural train of thought. That. So, do you think that as it stands now, the parties have a enforceable settlement agreement?
I think, well, I think the bonding company we let out. And I thought we had a severance, but if we don't, then we do need a final dismissal of the whole cause after this. I can look and see what we have.
The conversation is whether I need an order approving the settlement. there's no disagreement about a dismissal.
Okay, I don't know that since what Ms. Christie's saying, I tend to agree with Your Honor, is since this isn't between the estate, funds aren't coming from the estate. Tomas's client is paying the funds directly from her personal assets to Ruth.
Actually, that's not true. It's coming out of the registry of the court.
Yeah, but it's for the benefit of, it's under an account that was under, I believe, a restraining order, I believe, Your Honor, or safekeeping. I mean, if you want to judge, it's fine. I don't think it harms anything if you want
Right.
a motion in order to comp and settle.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
well,
I thought it was an order authorizing the release of money from the registry of the court. I interpreted that to be money that's sitting in the registry of the court, not a fund sitting somewhere under a safekeeping agreement.
I think the safekeeping
correct.
agreement is between Mr. Flores's client and Your Honor, not the estate. Am I mistaken, Ms. Christie?
there are funds in the registry that belong to Doris that I thought these
Yes.
monies were coming out of. And so if that's the case, I'm happy to prepare like a motion in order to approve the settlement. I was just trying to simplify matters, but you're right. Since it is registry, that would make sense.
Okay, so Mr. Ramirez, I don't really want to sign them unless I sign all three things. I don't know what your objection is to.
Well, I was just thinking that they would come in at different times and you would end up signing the dismissal before everything else, but no, I mean, you'll keep track of which one signed first, but.
Now, is there an actual settlement
I'm
agreement?
prepared. I'm sorry, Ms. Christie, go ahead.
Sorry, I knew there was like a Rule 11 or some kind of email agreement. I don't know if there was a formal settlement agreement between Tomas's client and Ruben's client.
There is.
There is? Okay,
I'll get that to you.
okay. And then I'll prepare the motion to approve the settlement.
Okay, I gave you like 30 minutes today to finish sitting this case, and I'll give you another 30 minutes to sign all three orders. If you don't have them all three before me, and December 31, I'm not gonna sign them unless I have all three before me.
Okay,
And if it's beyond December 31, I'm out.
So the only thing while we still have the judge, is there any chance, counsel, that we could try to wrap this thing up before the judge leaves?
I'm
I
open
think
to,
I think we're close enough, and I don't know that we actually need to meet with the mediator again to get that done.
why don't we try a Zoom meeting between the lawyers and try to iron it out?
Well,
If you get something that can be held with like 3-day notice before December 31, I will do whatever I can to accommodate the parties. So
Okay.
Judge, before I forget, I don't know if you're able to see the order on file to distribute. I don't know if the wording is sufficient for you, or can you see that? I ran it through the clerk's office and they said that was fine, but just to make it easier and faster now,
I don't know. I take it if you submitted it, it's gonna work for you, and I'm willing to sign it if nobody objects.
well, I could read it on the record if that's okay. It's real short.
okay, what it looks like is the bonding company issued an order for discharge, partial dismissal, and severance. So I think, Your Honor, you may have signed a severance letting the bonding company out.
That was my recollection, but I could. be
And
wrong.
so, and this is under cause number P37302. I don't see anything with a dash on this one, so,
Yeah, I think the severance was just for the bonding company, not for the
yes.
attorney fees.
So I think we all need to sign off on a motion to dismiss the cause of action.
Okay,
Judge, you want me to read it real quick here to see if it's okay with you on the disbursement of the money?
Nobody objects. It's okay with me, Mr. Rene.
Okay, if nobody objects, I think I ran it through the lawyers too, and I don't think they had an objection, so it's just real simple.
Okay. Mr. Ramirez, I did what I could to accommodate your request, but I need to have the three orders put
Okay.
together in one place. I don't want to look at the file until I have all three before me. If you're made aware that all three are before me and nothing's happened, let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, does that take care of everything?
Yes, guys, I'm available in December to try to pencil some time in to try to get it. I think it behooves us because if we have to start with a new judge, we're gonna have to educate the judge on the file.
I have a lot of days available in
I see
December.
Miss Christie smiling. She's the one that's gonna have to educate the judge.
Judge, do you want to just give us a deadline on the other orders just to push everybody along to make sure it doesn't get to Christmas time and?
Dude, I'm all judged out. I don't have any orders left in my soul.
Okay.
I wanted to help you get your money, and in that part, because that was a pending jury trial that
Yeah,
I
no,
couldn't.
no, it's settled, Judge. Let me just inform everybody that and my client's present, he can hear that. The agreement is, I'm only taking a third of those attorney fees and helping my client with the rest. He's keeping the rest. So that's what the rush is because he's unemployed. He got laid off, so, you know, he's a little boy. So that's not, I don't need the money. I'm just saying my client does. So he's getting a big piece of this 24,000.
Okay, well, Mr. Alberto, I'm sorry about your dad, but
No,
this is weight on my mind, not being able to get this thing resolved. So I was glad to hear that you all settled it, and I will help you before December 31.
Okay. Is Roland going to be unemployed when you're unemployed, Judge?
Who?
Roland,
Roland.
your court reporter.
He's with the main judge.
He's the court reporter for the court.
Oh, good.
No, since these were Hidalgo County cases, rather than having to hire a court reporter for
That's
the county
good.
to pay, the judge agreed that Roland would, assuming there was no conflict with the court docket. So that saved the county a lot of money.
We always like.
Sure, Roland's glad to get out of this stuff too, right?
Yeah, but
County judge, hire a court reporter. Okay, nice to see you all. You have
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank
And
you,
guys,
Judge.
I'm available if somebody wants to ship some dates.